Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of The Sea Will Claim Everything. I probably should have had a drink before I started recording, but I realized I'm going to be doing a lot of talking, so I'm like, I probably should drink a little. Okay, last time we left off, we made it to Sadaka, which is currently embroiled in many things, let's say. Oh my god, that's not even a dead end. So I'm pretty sure I checked out all of this last time, but we just need to move forward, so. Second most useful invention here in the desert, after the parasol. Where there is water, there is life. Dr. Crustum, PhD, physician and healer. Do not give marital advice. As in, a group of bees that rebelled against their queen are hiding in these flowers. Do not give marital advice. So, I've seen the signs before that says, like, does not give marital advice, but this says do not. Does that mean you have problems with relationships and marriages a lot? Lamp is totally digging the colorful windows, man. You have spotted an anomaly in the fabric of space caused by the drinking of too much coffee. People of Sadaka have always loved flowers, even though they're not exactly easy to grow in the desert. Perhaps that's part of the reason. Sahira is in there talking to Bob the Spider. Bob likes to get his coffee here. Al-Waha. Owa-Wa. There we go. Salim. I am Salim, a student of philosophy and the sciences. I am a child of Sadaka, but I believe that wisdom may be found everywhere, or at least wherever there are those who think, who question, and who believe in the importance of knowledge. Crisis. Wherever there is thought, there is hope. A crisis such as this can only be produced in two ways, a natural disaster or an error in our thinking. Clearly the latter is the case in our current situation, or present situation. We trusted too much in the stories of our leaders, believed too much in the triumph of the self and not enough in kindness. Ironically, we are left with no freedom for the self and nothing but kindness to keep us from harm. Woof. Sadaka. There's an important lesson to be learned from our city, so precariously balanced between the desert and the sea. The world is beautiful, but much of it is also deadly. It is only the smallest of margins that life and civilization may come to be. If we upset the balance, we risk destroying ourselves. Mystery. The greatest of all mysteries, in my opinion, is why mosquitoes fly around one's ears in the morning, buzzing and waking one up. What purpose can be served by this behavior? Clearly sending their victims into a killing frenzy is of no advantage to them. And there are many other places where they may draw blood, so why this infernal buzzing around the ears? No explanation, I have heard, has been convincing, save for they are the agents of evil and created only for the purpose of causing outrage and irritation. Token. The token you seek was unfortunately taken from me by one of the guards, Fod. They're less friendly these days. Murder? Saw Hashim walk into the desert as the sun was setting, carrying a small bag of what I presume were supplies. Such a shame. He had a promising mind. Interesting. Excuse me for not turning my head, I have a stiff neck. Acacia. Rashad. I'm a mathematician, though I dabble in other fields too. I'd like to sit here and debate with my friend Salim. Frankly, there's not much more to do, since the kind of work I do is no longer appreciated. What can we learn from abstract mathematics, they say, as much as we may learn from all the sciences, though perhaps not always as directly. I mean, I hate math, but you can't deny the usefulness of it. Mathematics. Mathematics, a poet once said, is the poetry of God, the perfectly sculpted elegance that underlies every fiber of reality. Sadly, this statement only provoked a long and tedious discussion about whether the word mathematics is singular or plural. It's singular, of course, like biology. And nowadays, fashionable poets and pseudo-philosophers sponsored by Urizen misapply the language of mathematics to prove their demented logic. Stavros of Afthonia. We met Stavros, a great thinker and a very likable person. We read his exchange of letters with Hypatia, two great minds struggling with great ideas. It left me in awe on both of them. Murder. Saw the guards bringing the body into the city. They did not seem very bothered by his death. Perhaps that's simply because they are more hardened than most, but perhaps not. Travels? Was born and raised in Sadaka, but I traveled a great deal in my younger years. I studied in the kingdom of the enigmatic snakes for a while, and spent some time in Billion Toad City, before doing my PhD at Oneiropolis University. But no matter where I went, no matter how strange the customs and alien the languages, I found that my fellow mathematicians and I could communicate. For we all shared a passion for the language of the universe, and that language knows no borders, recognizes no nations. Thank you. You two have a fun chat. Alright, a lot of books in here. Dr. Custom's graduation photo. A doctorate of medicine from the University of Trapesia. Collection of tools you should hope they will never be used on you. Not because Dr. Custom is incompetent, but because he will only perform surgery if he has to, and you don't want to be in the situation where he has to. Highly informative illustration about the saurian head. Dr. Custom's pet eyeball, Retinus. It appear to be breadsticks. You're not sure what they're doing here. Bone of a clone of a crone. No, it doesn't belong to Dr. Custom. It's on loan. Bronca dilatory blue balsam. Essence of blurg. Rhubarb-based rheumatism cream. Jambalaya jam. A blue bottle. Distilled sandworm excretions. A variety of enormous single-celled organisms floating in a jar. They're pets rather than medicine. Mercular spurg. Poo of the bacteriophagic frog. Hyperworm blood extract. Very useful in certain healing potions, but challenging to harvest, especially because hyperworms only spawn from multiworms. Have you brushed your teeth today? Keeping your teeth clean today will prevent a lot of problems in the future. Root canals are not fun. Model of an eyeball, created by a friend of Dr. Customs from the Mountains of Oddness. On Smallpox and Measles by Muhammad ibn Zakaria al-Razi. Canon of Medicine, updated edition by Ibn Sina. A Pink Book. Broca's Brain, Reflections on the Romance of Science by Carl Sagan. Homeopathy is not sorcery, it's fraud by Polgara. Use of Magic and Healing by Sinjil Egidius. Not Without My Urine Flask, A Healer's Tools by Jahan Bet Ishak. On the use of Znogingular Vobs by Irk Manning. Antifungal medication, never give to Goombas. Powerful laxative. Candy. An immunogoblin enhancer. Strengthens the microscopic goblins in your bloodstream, allowing them to destroy many diseases. Myglobins. Anti-snakebite pills. They contain tiny nanocats that hunt down the poison in your blood and scratch it to death. Neuropolis University Guide to Blue Diseases. Edited by Jeff Ricketts. 300 New Ways of Stimulating the Brain by Walter Bishop. Advanced Treatments for the Diseases Most Common Amongst Sailors by Stephen Maturin. How to Grow Biogenic Medicines by Cornelia Mysterious Druid. Guide to Plague Control by Bernard Roux. The Complete Art of Medicine by Ali ibn Abbas al-Majusi. Yoram Duga's Brief Handbook of Fast-Acting Diseases. There's Yoram again. Understanding Circulation by Ibn al-Nafis. Ford's Principles of Internal Medicine, 204th edition. Anthelmintic Sand. Grudy Fruit Powder. The music in this area gets so loud. Like, my god. Like, that part gets really loud. Effing Egg Powder. Muscle relaxant made from the excretions of relaxed muscles. Dried Nickies? Panickies? Dr. Custom goes nowhere without his trusty bag of implements. Book of the 20 Treatises of the Eye by Hunayn ibn Ishaq. Beyond the Rim, Medicine in the Lands of Dream by Stephen Franklin. A tasty licorice-based stethoscope. Nobular Vildagrams, Moldacular Blurge Drink, Purple Analgesic. The Book of Pleasure, revived and expanded by Yaqub ibn Ishaq al-Israeli. The Anatomy of the Saurian Body by Mansur ibn Ilyas. Yoram Duga's Incomplete Guide to Unknown Diseases. Anarapolis Medical University, edited by Muhammad ibn Yusuf al-Harawi. Method of Medicine by Abu al-Qasim al-Zahrawi. The Simple Medicines by Rashidun al-Suri. Okay. Salam, traveler. How can I help you? Crustum. I'm Crustum, son of Zora and descendant of Toast. I studied the ways of healing in storied Trapesia, learning much that has elsewhere been forgotten. Now I work at Sadaka, seeking to expand my knowledge further and helping all that I can. Doctor. Many of us children of the Toast are doctors. Our natural ability to produce penicillin is very useful, of course, and motivates many to take up this calling, but I believe there is more to it. We who might have been nothing but stale bread appreciate life more than most do, and thus we seek to preserve it. Studies? Oh, I've studied all the greats. Merovius on cataracts, Cheirophilus of Vlachia on baldness, Imatiros Sophocles on anatomy, you name it, I've read it. I love learning. There's so much to learn, though one should never underestimate the value of practical experience. Toast? One time ago, there was a piece of toast that was left lying around for too long. As is usual, it became quite moldy, but it was not thrown away. Instead, Through forgetfulness or fate, it was allowed to grow, to evolve, until the toast became sentient. Since then, it has traveled the worlds, leaving behind its offspring wherever it goes. I'm a 9th generation toast. Both my parents were 8th generation toasts, though it is said that my great-grandfather was a moldy baguette. Sadaka? I love it here. Well, I know there are many problems, but I'm simply a born optimist. As long as there's life, there's hope, and life, as my own example shows, can grow anywhere. Arterial cleaning device? An arterial cleaning device for an enormous artificial organism. Oh wow, I had to think for a bit. Yes, well... There's a guardian spirit? Well, I think it can be done, but it requires something rather extraordinary. Namely the tooth of a dragon. Nothing else is sharp enough and yet chemically harmless. To attach the tooth to something your fishy friend can hold with his mouth, it will also need a special glue. The recipe for which I can give you straight away. If you bring me these ingredients, I will make this tool for free. Murder? Not generally in favor of violence, but I knew Hashim as a splendid individual with an interest in medicine and politics, and if I find out who's responsible for the murder, I will not be inclined to kindness. Damn, you don't want a doctor coming at you. Especially if, as I suspect, the guards have something to do with it. I remain optimistic, however, that the people of Sadaka will know how to react should this information become available. Biology? Biologically speaking, most of us living creatures are far more alike than we are different. Those who reduce complex social behaviors down to individual biological traits, no matter their intent, are straying from the fields of silence to the madhouse of dogma. But I'd like to think that we can get over these crude superstitions and recognize each other as people, not as categories. Most people are actually pretty nice. Thank you, Doctor. I got a new recipe out of that. Yeah, God, we have so many, like, in-progress things. Yeah, here's where the music gets really loud again. When the guards aren't around, the Fountain of the Gate is a popular place for young couples to hang out at. These flowers don't really like FOD. What? FOD? Who am I is none of your business. Token? That thing? I thought it might be worth something, but it's just trash. Have it, it's all yours. Murder? Go around asking too many questions or you might become a suspect yourself. I got Catnip's token, finally. Yeah, the fetch quest is over. Door the guardhouse, visitors are not welcome. You don't see any evidence of what happened to Hashim. Maybe you should have a look around. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm lost. Flowering cactus. Pretty, but not very useful. You don't need any stones. An enormous black scorpion lives under these rocks. Hey, a Saurian sausage. You could use that. You want to play with a sausage? Smells like chicken. If you had more than one, this would make a great meal, but you need to put this in the alchemy machine. The mouse says that no mouse would ever eat such a sausage. Why don't you give it to a cat or donkey or some other lowly creature? Mice have elevated understanding of cuisine. Anything else I haven't examined? I don't think so, not right now. Cactus seems vaguely familiar. These rocks seem kind of cheeky. More rocks. You suspect you may have gotten lost. Yep. New location added to the map. Also, you're no longer lost. Hooray. Did I just bumble into that? Or was that just supposed to happen after you get lost for a certain amount of time? I wonder if there was actually a way to map this place out. An oasis. Nice. Or maybe they just wanted you to go in the desert to find the sausage, and then that's it. Fragrant water lily. They are popular with nymphs. Loonflower seeds. Well, you also get this, but I was thinking, what I meant was they want you to pick up the sausage, and then shortly after you pick up the sausage, you find the oasis, no matter what, maybe? Loonflower seeds, eh? Highly poisonous seeds from the pretty loonflower. It can be used in alchemy carefully. I always forget that things are alphabetized. I'm so used to things not being alphabetized, so I always go down to the bottom to look at new stuff I got. They smell like loonflowers, dude. Like the desert wind with a hint of insanity. Didn't you read the description? The mouse suggests you stick these in an alchemical device of some kind and stop bothering poor innocent mice with your nonsense. Emotionally balanced flower. This flower is a little slow sometimes, but it's not stupid. Flower is very silly. Silly flower. Desert frog is using this water lily as cover. Flowers are debating what kind of flower you might be. This flower won't look back in anger. This flower is elegant and peculiar, but the other flowers still like it. Hello. Fruit of the rare purple stickle cactus is deliciously hallucinogenic. Ooh. This flower's description fell off. You can't be a shaman without a magic gourd. These nutmeg seeds are simply gigantic. Did you know nutmeg can induce a state of intoxication? Also convulsions, profuse sweating, and paranoia. Sinjil would prefer if you didn't open that. The contents should not be exposed to light yet. Either this is about a spell or he's developing photographs. There's a chicken in there. A live chicken. It looks to you, seeming rather annoyed. Green powder made from spinach frogs. You don't know what's in there, but it smells of memories and sorrow. Okay. Hello. Be welcome in my tent, friend. Smell of the day's magic. Sinjil. Sinjil Agidius, one of the 14 desert shamans. Was born on the island of Iwana, many thousands of miles from here, but that is not relevant. It is here that my path has brought me. I saw a vision of the blue crow, as I first did when I became a shaman, so I knew this path was one that had been waiting for me. Magic? Long time ago, when I was young and arrogant, my travels took me to a small village in an ancient country, recently torn apart by war and conquest. There I saw the savage brutality unleashed upon the weak and the helpless by those who believed themselves to be chosen, to be better than others, to be without the need for kindness. I saw a land snatched away from its people, in the name of half-remembered stories from the past, and all of my magic, all of my power, could do absolutely nothing. Sadaka. Came to Sadaka when I heard Mayor Zahak had been deposed. I felt there was a chance to make a new beginning. Instead, we got General G. Umguma, who's really nothing but another face for the same monster. He tried to convince me to endorse his regime, to give it my spiritual blessing. I told him where, as we shamans say, to stick it. Good shit. Wisdom. I'm a mighty shaman, mightier than you probably realize. I know secrets that many would kill to know. I have the powers that few can contend with. I've danced with the spirits of the desert wind in secret places where the sands remember the sea, and talked to the traveling dead between dream worlds. I know the names by which the stars and moons call themselves, and all the ways in which magic flows through the universe. But I know only one true thing. Magic is nothing without wisdom, and wisdom is nothing without kindness. Murder. You're asking the wrong question. It takes no great magic to know that he was murdered by the guards, as the people of Sadaka well know. It does not truly matter which guard did the deed, because the order was given by General Umguma, and they know that too. The question is, why was Hashim in the desert? What did he seek? The answer to that question lies in the Unspeakable Cave, which is where he was running from when he was killed. Unspeakable Cave? The Unspeakable Cave lies in this desert. I can show you the way, but know this. In the Unspeakable Cave lies the unspeakable horrors that none may see. Which, as their name implies, may not be seen, lest seeing them drive you mad. Okay, some cosmic horror. Only at the end of the journey, in the depths of the cave, can the traveler stop being afraid. For there an ancient secret is inscribed upon the wall, and the monsters stay away from it. Therefore, once you are within the cave, seek the silence. Seek the silence, you say. Okay, Unspeakable Cave. Ah, how beautifully this bird flies. How elegantly its shadow moves across the sand. It can't wait to pick the skin off your bones. Bird waiting for its dinner. This tree's especially diabolical. There's something creepy about this tree. Alright. You can't go in there like this. If you see the unspeakable horrors, you may go mad. Some ancient cultures, stacked stones indicate the presence of evil. In others, they indicate a recent exterior defecation. I wonder which of the two meanings these symbols represent. Can't go in there like this. If you see the unspeakable horrors, you may well go mad. Okay, so what do I do about that? Get a carrot. Find a pyrogenic poppy. Okay, so maybe we're done here for now. Oh, wait. Oh my god. I was like... I didn't realize we had this many extra pages. I thought it was going to continue. I thought these were all my quests because I thought, like, wow, there's so much unused space right here. But no, it just goes to a next page. Oh my god, we have so much. The Unspeakable Cave without seeing its horrific guardians. Ooh. Seller and fix the root settings. The password is kittens. Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, I was assuming that like, oh, these are all my current in-progress quests and I'd finish the other ones, even though I thought that was weird. Because, like, yeah, there's so much space here that's not being used. Okay. Well, we have quite a few things to do. Let's go back to Sadaka. Murder. They tell me it was found in a desert near the gate. I don't know what he was doing there. I don't even know if it's true. You can't trust them, you know. They say they're safeguarding the revolution, but I don't think anyone feels safe. Okay, anybody else? Oasis? Hey, you found it? Cool. Murder? I knew Hashim. He was a good person. Loved this city very much. He wasn't very popular with some people, though. He changed his sex several times, and the legal status of doing so was even murkier than it is now. I read a lot of books. The kind of thing some people call having a destabilizing influence on society, if you get my drift. But I don't know who killed him. Wow, the ability just to change whenever. Crazy. Well, I was always curious, you know, and I could never understand why it was illegal, so now that it's not, why not give it a go? Hell, even if I wasn't even part of who we are as a species, why not? Yeah, why not just try it out? You know, if the freedom is there. Murder. He was a troublemaker if ever there was one. His death was probably his own fault. That's what happens when you get involved with criminals. I did not expect this game to lead to me dealing with, like, a military regime that's taken over after an awful mayor was deposed, and I'm investigating the murder of a trans lizard that they killed as they went into the desert. I really didn't imagine this is where this game was going to go. Okay, I knew Hashim when he was young. When we were young. He was a strange boy, but he wasn't a criminal. Don't know why he was out there in the desert. They say he was meeting smugglers, but I don't think it's true. I don't like to talk about it, but I think one of us guards was also out there around the same time. Meeting Nabil? I think I'm long enough to notice. Yeah, we can meet. I'd like that. Oh yeah, you're the one. Yeah, murder. I don't know him. Can't comment on things I don't know about. Murder? Investigation clearly showed that the individual in question was involved in illegal activities and met his end. If we can call him a man, since he was also involved in the questionable practice of autosomatic alteration as a result of a struggling deal gone bad. I think we can call them whatever the hell they want to be called, you jackass. Okay. Murder? I knew Hashim. He liked to get something to eat from me every now and then. He always told me about how we shouldn't accept General Nguma's orders just like that. About how he thought that handing the revolution to the military was like throwing it away. Radical thoughts, but not without merit. He was also the only one who appreciated my humectant hummus. I still can't really believe he won't show up tomorrow morning for some food and political conversation. Isle of the Moon? Never been that far north. I'm not good with the cold, but a bard came through a while ago who played some songs from the Isle of the Moon. I must admit I was quite taken. Can't be that cold. It's still in the Fortunate Isles, right? It's not like Hyperborea, where there's no summer. Favorite sweet? Favorite sweet in the world? Belly dancing biscuits. They dance in your belly. Yep, the Baharat. Thank you. Oh, this is very exciting. Here's your Baharat. Enjoy. What am I going to cook? Authenticity? All the great foods are the result of people and ideas mixing. Someone tries something here, then someone else adds an ingredient over there, then a third person puts a completely new spin on it, and so on. All the so-called national foods are actually totally international. Like pizza, which some call the fifth element, or my beloved canicular curry. Nothing is authentic, my friend, but everything is wonderful. Murder? I knew him. He came to me a while ago to ask for advice. I was born female, and I changed several times during my travels on the other islands. That's how one did it back then, when Mayor Zahak was in office and it wasn't possible to change around here. Not that it's really all that possible now, well, at least not encouraged. I didn't have that much advice to give him. It's a relatively simple process, but he was smart and wanted to be prepared. Whoever killed him cost us a good citizen. There it is, my Baharat. Murder? I only talked to her once. Well, she was a she at the time. Saw her around a lot, working or talking to people. I don't know if it means anything, but on the day before the murder, the guards were keeping a close eye on her. Prejudice? You don't know my honest opinion? It's all distraction. Nobody really cares about what you do with your privates, but by taking away our personal freedoms, they make us unhappy enough to not notice when they take away everything else. Holy shit. I've seen the same thing happen in every part of the world I've been in. Of course, I thought we were past that now. Holy shit. Omar is just, yeah. Omar is just laying it out. Because, yeah, that is what it is. It's all distraction. They're just using trans people and gender ideology as a scapegoat to cover up the fact that they're giving billionaires tax breaks and doing whatever other stupid shit that they're doing, like going to war with people we don't need to go to war with and pushing AI and all of these things. Cricket. We think traditional cricket is boring, but Dwarven cricket is a whole new game. It's faster, less predictable, and a lot more hairy. Freedom. What freedom really is, sitting here and reading a book without anyone bothering me. No one telling me my book is offensive or blasphemous or inappropriate, being able to get on with my life doing what I want to do without being judged or condemned by various self-appointed moral authorities. come to realize is that this freedom can only exist in a city that is at peace with itself. Okay, so yeah, we've got a few things. Eyeball? Oh, isn't he just the cutest? He was a present from my old friend Dr. Shellfish. Did you know that some people think eyeball plants are hideous? I think they're soulful. Sinjil. That's Sinjil? They use Sinjil Egidius? One of the 14 legendary desert shamans? Wow. This book on the uses of healing and magic is absolutely indispensable. Doubted I could have never figured out how to heal Jin diarrhea. And believe me, the world is a lot better place for that. You've never seen so much ectoplasm. Thanks. Philosophy? When there is great unhappiness in the world, philosophy is invaluable. The cause is obvious, some disaster not of our making, then philosophy allows us to ask, how do we find meaning in the face of this tragedy? When the cause is hidden, it allows us to ask, why is this happening? Why are we poor if there's so much wealth? Why are we hungry when there's so much food? Instead of blaming ourselves or fate, we can investigate the nature of the world we live in. Beauty? One of the most appalling things about Lord Urizen and his great machine is that people have come to associate mathematics with a cold, hollow view of the universe. Nothing could be further from the truth. Mathematics is the very incarnation of the exquisite beauty of our world, allowing us to see the manifold patterns of the sublime. The more one studies, the more one is capable of perceiving the infinite elegance that underlies everything, even Lord Urizen himself. Okay, and then, yeah, now we're kind of back to where I went in there. So I do think we need to go and do some other things now. I just wanted to come here just to see it. We have not been to Gazira, have we? Crabflower shell. Okay, well that was easy. Cyrus used to clean his teeth with reeds like these. These reeds are descended from the reed fields of Aru, which are descended from the reed fields of Oneiropolis. Friendly large hermit crab hiding under this reed. Doesn't like company. Okay. Well, we did a lot, I would say, there. Donia? Lillis? Thanks. At least I don't have to worry about him. Of course, he might still manage to fall off that cliff. There's not much I can do. There's only so much I can do. Caliste? Heard about the island that went kaboom? Remember that quite well. It was awful, but sort of impressive. When you see something like that, no matter how terrifying it is, no matter how much, people are going to suffer, some part of you just goes, whoa. Underhome? Underhome is pretty awesome. It really sucks these goons went in there and messed everything up. All these foreclosures just total bastardiness, if you ask me. But if even Sophia doesn't know how to solve the problem, let's go talk to you first. Plato. Afraid that boy didn't always listen properly to what I said. Great mind, I would never deny that, but the words he put in my mouth were... well, they were close to what I said, but not quite the same. Look back at the long legacy we left with pride, but also with apprehension. Maybe Lord Urizen is the philosopher king we spoke of. Wouldn't that be terrible? Woof. Refugee? I was talking to Stavros about the history of the island when I suddenly remembered something my mother told me when I was a child. That one of my ancestors was a refugee from Hyperborea. This must have been during the time of the Timber Tyrant, when wars and poverty displaced a lot of people. I wonder who he was. How he felt about settling here. Might even be able to find his address in Oneiropolis. Send him a letter, but maybe it doesn't matter. We are where we are, no matter where we came from. Zucchini? Some lands are also called courgettes. Or courgettes? That's not a proper word. Ashram? I'm not really from around here. I'm actually from another world, much like you are. Though I don't have a window. Came here as a part of an experiment in transdimensional travel, and it's taken a bit longer to get back than I expected. I'm not worried, they'll have me back in no time, so I swear I've had that conversation. Sphinx? Sphinx passed through Aphthonia a while ago. Very mysterious, always asking strange questions instead of just saying what she wanted. What contains potatoes and aubergines is covered in cheese and would go really well with some red wine. No sphinxes are all about riddles, but how hard is it to just order a moussaka and some wine? Okay. We're a lot of people to talk to here as well, if I remember correctly. But, I don't know that we have anything new to talk to. Laziness? Strongly believe that our citizens are anything but lazy, but they are hardworking, honest people who believe in the social powers of the market. They have been let down by previous governments who wasted valuable resources in coddling our citizens with corrupt, inefficient systems. My new government will quash this inefficiency, and anyone who stands against our dedication to radical austerity is clearly a corrupt, lazy traditionalist who cannot cope under the true equality we are bringing about with the assistance of our partner, Lord Urizen, and his institutions. Bye. And then you... Great Machine? Urizen's Great Machine is the means by which he transforms the world. Some say it is a reflection of his inner self, but I think it is a distorted reflection of Oneiropolis. Eternal transformation and infinite growth are at the core of that city, the core of the universe itself. Urizen has turned these forces into something monstrous. What I frequently wonder is, does he know? Does he believe he is a philosopher king, a bringer of reason, or does he know he has become a destroyer? His cronies are hypocrites, no doubt. Is there any hope left for the man himself? Philosophy. Philosophy has little value if it becomes a game of words or an abstraction disconnected from reality. A philosopher who deals in illusions, who treats the world as a fantasy that can be altered merely by being described in different terms. Such a philosopher can quickly become a servant of tyranny. I'm afraid that this is what happened to some of my colleagues on the mainland. They are so lost in the hall of mirrors they have constructed, they fail to understand that all they are seeing is themselves. Goat jokes? Nobody likes goat jokes as much as goats do. My father, you know, he used to tell his mother goat jokes all the time, but she, bless her, never knew he was telling a joke and would nod along with his outrageous stories and say, "I heard about that." My father would just bleat with laughter. He loved my grandmother. She was the kindest goat who ever lived, but he just couldn't resist those jokes. And this is the owl? Okay, we have a few to talk with about you. Help? I've been thinking, perhaps the gate is not a literal gate. In an ancient language, Thera means gate. Crisis? I have sometimes been asked by the people of the Aftonia to offer my wisdom to Mayor Cranion and Lord Urizen. If only they had my knowledge of history, people say, perhaps they would act differently. The error in their thinking is to assume that our poverty means Cranion and Urizen are failing. No, they know well that to strangle a people with austerity will only cause debt to increase. To destroy a people's ability to trade cannot be a solution to their lack of funds. We are only in debt because what we had was gambled away, and now we are trusting the gambler's advice as to how to gain our money back. We are being swindled. Yep. All the stars. Used to be a great library in the eastern part of Sadaka. My dear friend Marty the Manticore worked there. He was simply the best at tracking down rare, obscure books. He even managed to find a copy of the 17th Mushroom by the Ocular Cloud Terminus entity. Fortunately, the library was closed by Mayor Zahak, and the new government has chosen not to reopen it. Poor Marty was heartbroken and decided to move to Oneiropolis. Favorite book? Favorite book? Oh, well, there's so many books that I love. One of my favorites is definitely Athena Reborn. Maybe that's because I knew the author. Starmaker probably moved me more deeply than any book I've read. Lud in the Mist, of course, more or less the complete works of Henry Trollweather. Dunsany's Letters from the Yon. No, this is impossible. There are too many great books. Yeah, I have a hard time nailing down favorites too. Okay, back on the ship. Back to the Isle of the Moon. Let's go to Underholm, because... Free the Fortunate Isles, gather the ingredients for the super recovery. We should... Let's see, do I have all the tokens? I don't think I do. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's 6, so I am missing 1. You don't have anything to bake. Question is, what would I want to try and do? Because, yeah, I can't go out there. Nothing for me to really do here. Guano? Hey, you could ask Patricia. I'm sure she has lots of bat poo. Naim. Thanks for helping Naim get back. She's one of the few people who can be trusted to handle the plants here, you know. Like those purple creatures from the Subnana tree. They once turned a glandular guava into a granular guanabana by watering it with mutagenic mustard. Mustard! They watered it with mustard. Interesting. That seems like it would be important for later. We grow the very best eyeballs here. We get the seeds from a friend of thee and Naim's, Dr. McShellfish, who lives in the mountains of Oddness. That's where the famous Forest of Eyeball is, you know. There are more forests like it, but that's the really famous one. I'd love to see it someday, but if I leave, who's going to take care of the plant nursery? Okay, I need Patricia. And you're not here. You're in a different place? Which floor were they on? I don't quite remember. Yeah, I don't quite remember what floor. I remember there being one where there was some bats. There you are. Guano. Excuse me, what? You want my poo? I suppose I've heard of worse things. I think. I'm glad she's back. I'm unsettled by how much damage is being caused to these islands. What is with this Urizen fellow? What's his problem? Isle of the Sun? You know what? I once met a bat from the Isle of the Sun on my home planet. He was called Nikos Nycterodopoulos, and he was the frontman of an anarchist punk band called Gamiso Alexi, which I believe translates to something very rude. He was loud and boisterous on the stage, but very calm and friendly in person. I was younger and wilder then, of course, and it was a time when freedom was more valued than it is now. All the stars? Fruits and flowers of Sadaka are intoxicating to me, but all that desert is just too much. I prefer the quiet forest of the Owl and Moon. Room of boxes? I'm really sorry you had to go in there. Ah, there's nothing like some good bat excrement. Alright, time to eat shit. It's bat poo. Oh, they won't even let me click on any of the stuff. They're just like, no, why would you even try this? You disgust me. I had to see what happens. Cannot find data. Okay, so we know the password now with the roots. So I guess I can go over there and fix that. Yeah, so let's go fix the roots. Root settings. Enter password. So the password was, kittens. Alright. So K-I-T-T... Oh wait, no, that was a J. K-I-T-T-E... Where's my N? N... And S? Hey, connected to Underroot home settings. Filtration mode automatic. Alright, I fixed it. So that's taken care of. I fixed that. Fix the humidity settings. Find a pair of fireproof gloves for picking up pyrogenic poppies. They might be one in Underhome somewhere. Pyrogenic gloves. You heard any pyrogenic gloves? I would have assumed they'd be in the kitchen. Like a pot holder? Oven mitts? Hello? Fish is called Pierre. Fourth... Let's just go ask one of them. Second floor? Nope. Nothing from you. So yeah, you... I actually don't think. You look more like a... Honestly, you look like... There's like tentacles, not snakes. So you're not like a reptilian, I don't think. Let's go over here. Alright, so can I make anything from my recipe book? Scroll of recipes. So, prune juice I don't have. Nope. Green, feta, mushroom, potion of nerg, saurian sausage. I need the poppy for that. Liquid cheese, catabatic commune, fantastic feta, flamboyant flour, finger dough. Water, catabatic commune, mellow mushroom. The basis of something green. The first ingredient should be repulsive squish leaf, trout jelly, potion of erg. Okay, we already did that. Cook the following. Salmon of wisdom. Okay, yeah, so we have a lot of stuff, but nothing I can actually do here at the moment. Third floor. Yeah, there you are. Sadaka. Oh, Sadaka is extraordinary. You know, one of my ancestors, Yusuf, mysterious druid, is from there. He was one of the great architects of his time and made many important structural improvements to Underhome. Heard a rumor that he lives in Billion Toad City these days, but I've never managed to contact him. Okay, so there's definitely some more stuff for us to do. Mr. Crab? I may appear to be an ordinary crab and indeed speaks in the way of all crabs, but in truth he is an erotic adventurer of the most arranged kind. Come to the Fortunate Isles from another dimension, exiled for his psychopathic gardening sprees. So he claims. Not certain. He may simply be a crab. Okay. So nothing else there. Nothing else with you. One of you needed something. All the stars? All that sand. Like a huge... Oh well, never mind. All the stars? My dear friend Omar Orkbasher lives in Sadaka. When times are better, I used to visit him. The desert is no place for a dwarf, but let me tell you, the artificers of Sadaka are second to none. Even the great craftsmen of the Grey Mountains would not look down upon their work. I still think this is going to be opening, like, up to someone. Like, I can encourage someone to move here. Carrot and leek? Thank you. Should last me for a while, so yeah, that's why I wanted to come back here for the guano. And I won't have to use anything that will harm the ground. Here are your promised vegetables. Come back if you need more. It is no doubt a place of wisdom and great artistry. Last time I went there, I got sunburn on my ears. Got carrot and leek. Nothing. All the stars. It's a great place. Don't drink any apocryphal or rock while you're there, unless you want to spend a week reciting the lyrics to unwritten songs that happened to a friend of mine, also called Oi. I bet. Far too hot. Blurg. Okay, nothing there. You know, back home I knew this lizard guy who thought there was a conspiracy and all the powerful people in the Isle of Stars are humans in disguise. Believe they like sacrifice children and worship strange human gods and stuff. Pretty crazy if you ask me. I mean, he was a nice guy, heart in the right place, but he always wanted to make something complicated. Okay, we got conspiracy theorists thinking instead of lizard people, there's human people. Alwinian? And yeah, I still don't have that. Oh, yeah, wait. I can talk to you. Because I have the translator. Melish. I couldn't talk to you before. Melish is a big rock-eater dragon. He likes to eat rocks. He eats lots of rocks and then he sleeps. Then he wakes up again and eats more rocks. But Melish is very young. He turns 900 next year. Rock. Melish likes all kinds of rock. Big heavy boulders go well with crunchy gravel. Eat moss-covered rocks afterwards for digestion. His favorite meal is walls. Sometimes he nibbles walls all day and he's not hungry at dinner time. Melish is silly sometimes. Alwinian? Melish didn't drive the people away. The village was empty when Melish found it. Everyone gone. Yummy, yummy walls left behind. Melish doesn't know why. Melish just likes to eat. Wisdom? Melish knows a bit of wisdom. He can tell you. Be nice to people. Don't think you're better than everyone. Enjoy yourself, but don't be greedy. Never eat a rock bigger than your head. Tooth. Melish is not 1,000 yet, so he still has his rock teeth. They fall out and new ones grow. Melish can give you one. Here. Hey, I got a tooth. Cool. Well, that was one of the things I needed. So that's cool. And then yeah, over here with the Timber Tyrant. Wait, what did I just get through that with? Because it said I needed a sword or something. Oh, I did get the magic sword. Yeah, from Borin. So yeah, I could come here now. Looks dangerous, but maybe it's not. Maybe you can just walk past it. Blue mushroom couple is good friends with the hand. Amazing thing about mushrooms is that they'll grow just about anywhere, just to show off. Alright, I just realized we've been going for almost 45 minutes, so I should probably end there, so. Hope you've enjoyed. I'm gonna save to nipple, and I'll see you next time for some more.